Alright guys, let's be honest. If you've been watching electric dirt bikes lately, you've probably noticed something wild happening. China is taking over. Yeah, the so-called budget bikes that everyone used to laugh at, they're not just catching up, they're starting to compete. And right in the middle of all that chaos, there's one name that keeps popping up, Tuttio EM5. It costs just around $1,300, and somehow it's giving bikes like Surron, Talaria, and Segway X260 a serious headache. Today, we're talking about why this cheap little monster is everywhere and how it might be the best budget e-dirt bike of 2025. Let's jump in. A few years ago, electric dirt bikes were basically a rich guy's hobby. If you didn't have 4 or 5 grand, forget about it. You wanted power? You bought a Surron. You wanted durability? You bought a Talaria. And if you wanted to be broke afterward, you bought both. Then, out of nowhere, bikes like the ew.J, Tuttio, and Tuttio EM5 started showing up. At first, people thought they were cheap knockoffs. And yeah, some of them were. But the EM5, that one was different. It looked premium, it felt solid, and the performance? Way beyond what anyone expected at this price. That's when things started to get interesting. When you first look at the EM5, you don't see a budget bike, you see attitude. It's got that aggressive motocross stance, wide handlebars, and a tough aluminum frame that actually looks expensive. And it's not just for show. The welds are clean, the plastics are firm, and nothing rattles like those cheap toy bikes from Amazon. The 12-14-inch wheel setup gives it a balanced riding position. Not too tall, not too short, perfect for adults or teens. It even has a secondary side fairing that gives it a unique look compared to other clones like the ew.J. Basically, it's got style and muscle. Okay, let's talk specs, because this is where things start getting spicy. The EM5 packs a 48-volt system, a far driver 70A controller, and a gear reduction motor that gives it serious torque. And no, it's not some weak motor pretending to be powerful. This thing pulls. It hits around 32-34 miles per hour, and what's crazy is how smooth it feels doing it. It's quiet, but when you twist that throttle, it reacts instantly. That's the magic of the gear reduction motor. It multiplies torque and keeps the bike grippy on dirt and hills. You can literally crawl up a slope that would make a Surron sweat. And here's another small but genius detail. A chain guide and chain guard that keeps the chain tight and silent. No chain slap, no skipping, just smooth delivery. For a $1,300 bike, that's impressive. Now, here's where most cheap bikes cut corners. Battery life. The EM5 uses a 48-volt, 20.8 amp-hour lithium battery. That's not massive compared to high-end bikes, but it's efficient. You can expect around 25 to 30 miles if you're trail riding, or 15 to 18 miles if you're going full throttle the whole time. Its closest rival, the ew.J, has a slightly bigger 23.4 amp-hour battery, but surprisingly, both deliver almost identical range. Why? Because the EM5's powertrain is tuned better. It doesn't waste energy. It gives you torque when you need it, and chills when you don't. And the best part? The battery bay is upgrade friendly. You can drop in a 60-volt pack without needing to rebuild the frame. That means, with a few upgrades, this $1,300 bike can literally compete with Surrons. Alright, let's talk about how it actually rides. The EM5 feels light, nimble, and surprisingly stable. At around 110 pounds, it's easy to throw into turns, jump over small logs, or even load into your car trunk. The front forks and rear coil shock aren't top tier, but they're not garbage either. They handle jumps, trails, and backyard fun like champs. The low seat height and wide bars give you full control, even at high speeds. Honestly, it feels closer to a mini motocross bike than an e-bike. And because it's electric, the power delivery is super predictable. No clutch, no gears, no drama. Just twist and go. Alright, let's line them up. Surron Light V, around $4,000. Talaria Sting, $4,500, and Valtson Sao EM5, $1,300. Let's see where the EM5 stands. Power. Surron obviously wins here. It's got more voltage and higher torque, but the EM5 still holds its own, especially on trails and short bursts. Weight? The EM5 wins. It's lighter and easier to control, especially for beginners. Upgradability? Here's the surprise. The EM5 ties. Because it uses a far driver controller, the same tech you'll find in much pricier bikes, you can tune it, overvolt it, and customize it easily. Comfort? Talaria might be smoother, but the EM5 isn't far behind. For the price, it's shockingly comfortable. So if you're looking for raw performance, sure, Surron wins. But if you want something affordable, mod-friendly, and fun, the EM5 destroys expectations. Here's something the Valtton community figured out fast. This bike is perfect for upgrades. You can throw in a bigger battery, change sprockets, swap controllers, and even convert it to 60V setups without major work. And because it shares frame geometry with a few other e-bikes, aftermarket parts are easy to find. People are doing LED upgrades, painting frames, and even converting these into mini track racers. So yeah, it's not just a cheap ride, it's a project platform. If you're someone who loves tinkering, this thing is a gold mine. Here's where the EM5 really earns respect. When you hop on it, you don't feel like you're riding a budget bike. You feel in control. The acceleration is punchy, but not scary. The brakes are tight. The seat feels comfortable even after long rides. And here's something many riders point out. It's quiet. You can rip through a trail without disturbing anyone. No exhaust, no heat, no maintenance headache. Just clean torque and instant fun. If you've never ridden an electric dirt bike before, the EM5 is the perfect introduction. It's like the gateway drug of e-bikes. Once you ride it, you'll be hooked. Now let's put this all into perspective. You're getting a full electric dirt bike with a proper frame, far driver controller, lithium battery, hydraulic brakes, chain system, and decent suspension for $1,300. That's cheaper than a mid-tier mountain bike, and yet it rides like something worth 3 times the price. That's why people are calling it the budget Surron. And honestly, that's not a stretch, because for what it offers, the value is insane. Here's what I love most about the EM5. It's not overcomplicated. Everything about it feels smart and intentional. The controller placement keeps it cool, the motor is easy to service, the battery is swappable without removing the frame, and even little touches like the foot peg angle and the throttle response show that they actually tested this bike before shipping it. It's not a toy, it's a real, rideable, daily use dirt bike that's ready for trails, commute, or fun in your backyard. So, does the Valtton EM5 really destroy expectations? Absolutely. It's not the fastest bike on the planet. It's not built to replace your Surron yet. But it proves something bigger, that you don't need to spend thousands to experience real electric power. That innovation isn't just for the expensive brands anymore. And, most importantly, that the future of dirt biking is accessible. The EM5 is proof that the electric revolution is here, and it's affordable, powerful, and only getting better.